if you're a nail tech like me, then it is, okay? It is rocket science. Hi guys, and welcome back to another episode of Skilled. My name is Trinity Preston, and I am a nail educator with McCart Pro, and I teach beginner nail techs how to become professionals. Now, I don't know about you guys, but my clients have been in their soft girl era wanting this almond shape, and me and Almond, we have a love-hate relationship, okay? And no hate to the shape at all, but for the life of me, I could not figure out how to get the perfect almond shape without it looking round or oval. So I'm gonna show you how to do that today. The only key difference between all three of these shapes is how narrow it can get towards the tip, meaning almond is gonna be your most narrow. Now, it's not rocket science, but if you're a nail tech like me, then it is, okay? It is rocket science. So I'm gonna start with almond first because like I said, we're still working on our relationship. Now, to achieve almond, to really have that nice slim tip that you're gonna go for, you need these, okay? Scissors, nail clip cutters, whatever you wanna use. Clip that tip so you have a guide to follow whenever you go into shape. So that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm just gonna clip it like this, and then on the other side. And then boom, we already have something to work with, and that's exactly what we want. I'm gonna go in with my 100-100 nail file, and we want the tip to be slim, correct? That's the goal we're going for. So I'm gonna start at the tip instead of starting on the sides. And I'm gonna start to round that out a little bit. Now notice I'm really going underneath that nail because that's what's gonna give us our nice almond shape. So once I got it semi to what I look, I promise we're not done, we're not done. I'm gonna go in on the sides to really get that nice and narrow. And then my tip's a little crooked. But that's okay, we're about to fix that, So I'm gonna go back in on the side because I want the tip to be more right here instead of pointing in that direction. And notice I'm still working under that nail, okay? I'm still very much working under that nail. I really haven't touched the sides unless I was going to fix that side. Now we working with something, Okay. And then just like that, I mean, come on, why do we have a love-hate relationship? I mean, we're working on it, but still, this is a very hard shape, especially when you're taking into account people's widths and lengths of their nail bed. That, again, rocket science. It's rocket science, I'm telling you. Now, the next shape we're gonna try to achieve is our round, okay? We're gonna cut the tips like we did last time. However, we're not gonna make them as narrow. So take your clippers, your scissors, whatever you're using, and let's get to clipping. So I'm just gonna cut the edge right here. I'm not going as far up as I did last time because we don't want the edge closer to the free edge and their sidewalls as narrow. It needs to be pretty straight out, and then the edge of the nail will be rounded. So that's what we're gonna do. I got that cut. I'm just gonna go in and work this, and now we're just gonna round this out. Now see, I'm using the same methods. We're working under, okay? Count how many times I say that throughout the video. Now we have a nice round shape. This is round. If they say they want something more narrow than that, but not so much an almond, then they want oval. Now for oval, it's really just a cross between the last two shapes, a little bit more narrow than the round, but wider than the almond, okay? I hope that makes sense. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna do the exact same thing. We're gonna cut. Now notice this one is a little more narrow that I cut than the last shape because we want it to be a bit more narrow, just not so narrow at the tip, okay? Going back in with my trusty dusty file, I'm gonna clean up the sides first. Under. I'm serious, man. Y'all gonna be dreaming about it. Now I'm going under, but I'm also gonna catch the sides because like I said, we want it to be a little bit thinner than the last shape. So let's get it rounded first, and then I can start to make it a bit more narrow. Now I'm still following. We're gonna go till we get it right. Okay. And now we have oval. We have all three shapes. I'm gonna go ahead and slap some application on this and then come back so I can show you how to refile that once you have your application added. Now that we have the application down, you can kind of see the differences between the shapes better. However, the application did take away from the shape a lot, so we need to go back and redefine it. Let me just say, I do suggest going in with your electric file first, mainly because when you have more acrylic to work with, it takes you a lot longer to get that shape that you desire. So thinning out that application, especially towards the tip, will help you a lot. The main area that I'm gonna focus on with this shape using my hand file is the tip of it to redefine that shape, but also to get it to look a lot more natural, so thinner. So I'm gonna go in first like this. And then as I'm doing that, I'm gonna work around that free edge to redefine that shape a little bit. Make sure you're stopping to look at your shape so you're not falling too much on one side. I think we're getting somewhere. Personally, it looks really good. And I'm gonna stop right here. I think that is a pretty decent almond shape, okay? Now I'm gonna move on to the next two and then we'll just run it through there. Shape, the goal is to keep it round. Nothing more to it. So I have it, and this is already pretty thin at the tip, so I just really need to go back and just barely redefine that shape. Because like I said, round is round. It's not oval and it's not almond. So if they ask for anything else, no, I like it skinnier, then you want almond. And that, my friends, is a round shape. Compared to that almond, that is definitely round. Okay, now let's move on. Now this is the difference between round and oval. We're not done with the oval yet, so hold that thought. All right, so we're gonna go back in. We're working, yeah, yep. You already knew what I was about to say. Now this is more skinty, not as skinty as our almond, but it's skinty, okay? And there you go. Those are the three differences. We have our oval, our round, and our almond. Now, out of those three, I still think, even though I have a love-hate relationship with almond, it's my favorite. I absolutely do suggest this to my clients, especially if they have wider nail beds and they want to try a different shape. It really gives you that nice slimming effect. But the key is to know the differences and how to get that shape without really creating a different one. And as always, if you've taken anything away from this video, comment down below and let me know. And I will see you guys in the next episode of Skilled. Bye, guys.